Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel where I take you guys along the journey with me of paying off over $140,000 worth of student loan debts, all while trying to also increase my net worth to be over $1 million. Now, one of the major strategies I like to use to continue to rapidly pay off my debt, all while trying to manage my money so that I can contribute more towards my net worth and increase my assets, is by keeping a monthly budget. Another benefit to keeping a monthly budget like this, as I'm going to show you in this video, is that it allows me to stay on target with my money goals each month. That way I know I'm not overspending in a particular category, so that I can continue to maintain a high savings rate, which then I can use towards paying off high amounts of debt each month. Personal finance can be pretty personal to a lot of people, and everyone's budget and their monthly income is going to look different. But if you enjoy content like this of seeing someone budget their money, pay off debt, and increase their assets, then be sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel to see more videos just like this one. Now, with all that introduction out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at June 2022's monthly budget and what it's going to look like this month with my finances. So in short, this is how I set up my monthly budget. Typically, I get paid twice per month. June is one of those months where I get 2 paychecks because I get paid every other week. So I set it up to have paycheck number 1 and paycheck number 2. I do generate some side hustle income. I've talked about that a little bit on this channel with what that job is. Miscellaneous income, I usually leave this category for things such as if I have a birthday or tax refund, stuff like that, where I would be getting some type of money that I didn't expect to get. And then I also do have a category called cash back. I am an avid credit card user, and I do have 2 different credit cards that I use on a pretty regular basis. One being the Amazon Signature Prime credit card, the gray one, and then the other one being a newer addition to my group, the Chase Freedom Flex card. With both of these cards combined, I do generate some nice cash back each month. I tend to go for cash back rather than points because I'm not super interested in travel, but maybe that'll be something I'll consider in the future. All of these categories added up, as you guys can see, will equal my total income for the month, which I usually project to be around $4,200. I've set it up so that I can then see what the actual income will be once I plug in the numbers for how much I get paid, and then we will see what the difference is, if it's higher or lower, based off of what I planned to receive. The next section on here, this blue column, these are my sinking funds. These are categories that I'm either saving for, or these are expenses that will be coming up that I'm currently saving my income for, so that when the time comes for those payments to be due, I don't have to rearrange my budget to try to fit in what I need for those different payments and those expenses. So we'll go through and talk about each of these listed here in just a moment. And then lastly, we have the category of expenses down here in this red column. As you can see, there's a lot of different things that we need to make sure we plan to have money left over for once we're done putting things into our kind of pay me first category with the sinking funds. And we'll talk about all these in just a second. So let's now get into brass tacks and actually discuss the numbers that we're going to be putting in here. As you guys know, I share real numbers of what my paychecks are each month. Paycheck number 1, long story short, haven't gotten it yet. During the month of June, I'll actually get paid next Friday. So I have no paycheck from my regular career job, nothing yet. I'm almost positive it is going to be over this planned income though of the $2,100. My guess it's probably going to be around $2,400. Obviously, I haven't received paycheck number 2. And my side hustle income this month, basically the paycheck that I will receive during the month of June will be for my work that I completed during the month of May. I have already received that. And the number for this side hustle income this month is $1,474. Nice. Which, if you guys have been following along, you know that that's the highest side hustle income paycheck I have yet to receive. It'll probably be one of the highest ones for a while because I did find out that during this month, the month of June, my side hustle income does follow the school year, and the school year will be ending in June, around June 23rd. So for July and August, I will not receive any side hustle compensation for those months, unfortunately. Moving on to the miscellaneous category, I said earlier I use this for birthday money, Christmas money, IRS money, whatever. Well, it was my birthday recently, And just from some cards and everything, I did receive, I want to say around, I'm going to guess, I think it was around $300. Nice. Next up, my cash back for income. This usually isn't too much, usually about, I don't know, 20 bucks if it's a good month. But this month, because I did recently open up that new account with the Chase Freedom Flex card, basically I was able to gather the sign-on bonus, which was, I think, a $200 or a $250 if you spent a certain amount of money within a certain amount of time. So I actually think my cash back this month is around $200, but that's because of the whole sign-on bonus. You guys can see the total planned income of $4,200 was definitely not met yet, but what else can we expect? I have not received any of the paychecks from my regular job. So we're still $2,200 short of where I plan to be at with the income this month. I did add some new things to this spreadsheet. You guys might have noticed that earlier in the introduction. I am now including the saved payments that I'm using for my federal loans that I'm saving up. I've talked about that before. I'm going to include that whole subject line in the sinking fund. So I listed it here as saved payments. I save $3,000 every month if I can, and put it into my Ally Savings Bank so that when the student loans are done being in deferment, I can then take however much is sitting in that bank account and chuck it at the federal loans interest free. So my saved payments each month are going to be $3,000 until September, which will equal out to $15,000. So we're planning this month to put towards $3,000. It'll probably happen towards the end of the month. I have not done that, so I'm leaving the actual amount to be zero because I haven't paid it. And then total saved, I have done this the last 2 months for April and May, so that makes it so that I have a total saved right now of $6,000. Now I'm going to be honest with you guys, these last three categories here, vacation, Christmas, and family, I've kind of let the sinking fund slide the last few months. I haven't really been as faithful to it as I would like. Vacation has grown. You guys can see that up to $330. But that's more because my wife has been helping contribute towards that fund because she's the one in our family that really likes to vacation. So she's been setting aside some extra money when she can and putting it towards this sinking fund of vacation that I keep in the Ally Savings Bank. No, this video is not sponsored by them, but Christmas and family, I have really forgotten to be paying towards these sinking funds. So they've kind of sat just around $150 in that bank account, but that's okay, no big deal. You guys can see that my total amount that I'm trying to save each month towards these four categories is $3,150. We will see if we'll get there because right now we only have $30 contributed. And we'll see what happens. Moving on to the last part of budgeting, which is expenses. And basically, you guys know as well as anybody else that inflation is going crazy right now. There's a lot of other things going on in the world that have impacted the prices we see here in the US with things like groceries and gas. And the prices of everything recently have gone nuts. So I'm not even totally sure if all these numbers are completely accurate. I've tried to make them as accurate as possible, and then at the end of the month, obviously I'll have to adjust if they were a little off. But some of these things actually are unchanging. I try to lock down my expenses as much as possible so that I can be consistent with budgeting. It just makes things a lot easier. But there obviously are things in this that we're going to see in the expenses that you can't lock down. They're going to change each month. Anyway, let's go ahead. Sinking funds. I have it listed here that I put $150 towards that. I haven't done that in the last 2 months because this is more of a, not conditional. It's not completely necessary that I do that, but this one, $150 would be for these three items here: vacation, Christmas, and family. Mortgage, I've already paid that this month. That was $1,059 for my mortgage. I'm not really making any extra payments towards that, if you guys are wondering. That's basically the bare minimum because paying off my mortgage early is not a financial goal I have right now. Maybe it will be someday. The internet bill, I need to bump this down now because I think I explained it in my April budget. I I used a company called Bill Shark and was able to reduce this bill now down to $49.99 a month instead of the $65 a month. Nice, saved me 15 bucks for a full year. I think it's around $180. My water bill, normally it's around $50 when the pay period comes. However, I paid that last month, so there is no water bill due this month because it's billed every other month. Car insurance is around $107. I did receive a notice that it will be going up, I think by like $5 a month. I don't know why. I think it's just something with a policy. My phone bill, I pay my aunt through Facebook Pay each month for my wife and I's phone. Usually turns out to be $101. Quick question here for any of my viewers who might know this. Question about phone lines and phone bills. I get bombarded with the advertisements for Mint Mobile, and I wonder if any of my viewers actually use this service and can maybe speak to whether or not it's a good service. It says it's $15 a line, but does that mean that it's just $15 for the data? Does that mean that it's $15 plus your phone payment? If you guys could maybe speak to that, put some comments down below if you think that's worth it or something I should research or look into. Leave a comment down below of what you guys think. The next line item, and this is a new one that I have added. The line item of student loan isn't necessarily new, but I have changed the planned expense because I already said that I'm planning for the next 5 months, well, the next 3 remaining months, to pay $3,000 or save $3,000 towards my federal student loans. I'm keeping this at $3,000 just so that I have a more accurate picture of my total finances for the month, for my budget, and know where my money is going. The electric bill, this one has been consistently high, I guess, well, at least high for me. Last time at this year, I was paying anywhere from $60 to like $102. It's been around $160, $100. I think this month, actually, it's going to be, I haven't paid it yet, but it's $152. So I guess it's less than the planned expense, but still it's much higher than what it was last year. I think it's because of the price of everything is swinging around. I think that's another item that I can't quite control, even though I'm doing everything I can to keep my energy expenses low in my house. Next up, the next line item is groceries, and I'm gonna adjust this right now and say that, let's just say $250, because groceries have gone, I know gas prices are nuts, but grocery prices have also been nuts the last few months. I think last year around this time, I had made a comment on someone's video that they were talking about the price of eggs or something in their area, and I mentioned that the price of eggs for me, I can go down to my local Aldi's and pay 99 cents for a dozen eggs, and can't do that anymore. Eggs, I checked the other day, they're pretty much like $4 a dozen. Thankfully for me, my dad raises turkey and quail, so we have plenty of eggs. I don't really have to go to the store, but we sometimes forget to pick them up from his house when we go visit my parents, and then we're stuck having to buy eggs for $4 a dozen, which is nuts. So grocery prices have gone crazy. I won't know what this one is until the end of the month when I look at the Mint budgeting app that I use and reflect back on all the grocery purchases that we do. We try to buy in bulk, or I should say all in one visit for the month. That doesn't always work out, and sometimes we have to go back out to get groceries. So I'll have to fill that in at the end of the month when I know what it is. Amazon Prime, other than my phone bill, is pretty much the only subscription service I have, which you guys know is usually around $15 a month. And gas prices are nuts. I don't even remember what I said back in April, but gas prices are nuts. Here where I am, they're almost at $5 a gallon for regular, which is crazy, and I can't avoid driving because I have to drive for work. So gas prices are crazy. They're actually going up and down like all the time now. The other day they actually did lower them a little bit by like 20 cents, but they're still insanely high. I think the last time I checked it was like $4.73 or something like that, but still high. I'm planning for $250 of gas price this month. Thankfully my car is pretty good on gas, even with all the driving I do, I know for some people you look at that and go, oh, that's like 2 fill-ups or 3 fill-ups. But thankfully I got a small tank and a pretty high mileage car, but still gotta fill it up at least once a week, at least once. So as you guys can see, that will leave us with the total expenses for the month of June of $5,081.99. Will all my expenses equal out to that? Well, I don't know. Right now it's considerably lower, about almost $4,000 lower than what I planned, but we haven't filled in everything yet. We haven't filled in things like paying my student loans, groceries, and gas. So this number right here isn't quite accurate yet. But we will see whether or not I come in at equal to my planned expenses or higher than my planned expenses for the month of June. We'll find out. But basically, that's going to conclude my budget with me for the month of June of 2022. And I will be sure to keep you guys posted on how it goes, whether I can stay in my budget and whether I can continue to make those additional savings payments towards my government student loans this month. That's really my big focus for the next 5 months at least, well, until September, because I would like to make a huge dent in this loans should they become due in September. We will see if they do, but who knows, really? Who knows in this economy and in this market with what's going on. But I thank you guys for tuning in and watching this budget with me for the month of June. Be sure to stay tuned for more videos, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.